Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga Slow and Gentle. This is the orientation video to chair yoga. It covers the basic chair yoga poses, both on and off the chair, the associated breathing pattern, and a typical chair yoga class format. Now, the previous video, Chair Yoga Slow and Gentle Introduction, covered a number of topics, among them how to choose, modify, and stabilize your chair. If at all possible, you should see that video first. Yoga is very different from a simple stretching class. What distinguishes yoga from a stretching class is the coordination of the breathing with the poses. The long, slow, deep breathing triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows both the mind and the body to relax and respond. Now, I cue the breathing in my yoga and chair yoga classes, and you will likely hear me inhaling and exhaling deeply and slowly. The class format for chair yoga is very similar to traditional yoga. It begins with the grounding and centering, about 3 to 5 minutes, and this is where we establish our focus, establish our breathing pattern, and slow down and prepare ourselves for the class ahead. After that, we move on into warm-up poses for the neck, shoulders, torso. Then we come to the weight-bearing part of the class, the standing poses, where we may do a balancing poses, lunging poses, facing the chair or behind the chair. Then we return to the chair. We prepare for Shavasana, again slowing down and relaxing. And then every class ends with Shavasana, where we surrender to the breath, and I always end every class with a progressive body relaxation and, of course, the traditional Namaste. So now I'll cover some of the basic poses for chair yoga. This is the home base pose, the pose from which many other of the chair yoga poses generate. This is called our mountain pose. So the feet are a comfortable distance apart. They're firmly on the floor ahead of the chair. The legs are a comfortable distance apart. Our hips and shoulders are at the back of the chair. The arms are relaxed alongside the body, and the chin is in a neutral position parallel to the floor. So this is mountain pose. Now I'll show you the cat-cow flow. I'll give you the side view so that you can see. But we are in the mountain pose sitting on the front half of the chair. And we establish our mountain pose, and then we move into cow pose, where the elbows come back, the chest widens, we arch the low back in and let our chin come forward. This is the inhale position. On the exhale, we slide the arms, let the chin drop down and under, and elongate and arch up our back like a mad cat. So we would do this flow back and forth from cow pose to cat pose several times together in a flow. We also do a lot of twists, torso twists in chair yoga. So a simple torso twist would be from the mountain pose, inhaling, lifting our arms and looking up, and then exhaling, allowing the arms to float down and come to rest on the side edge of the chair. So we inhale, elevate, rotate the torso, Float the arms down on the exhale. So side to side, inhaling, revolving, and exhaling, doing our torso twist. And so a variety of torso twists. Some of them can be wide-legged torso twists, where we have our hands down inside the legs, and we inhale, lift the arm, look up at the hand, and exhale, float the hand down. Inhale on the other side, lift and rotate, and exhale, floating down. The other poses which we do a lot of in chair yoga are the warrior series poses. So just like traditional yoga, we do warrior poses in chair yoga. And we use the chair in one of two ways depending on your stature. So if your stature is such that the width of the chair seat allows you to have the knee over the ankle and the foot firmly on the floor with the front leg, and the back leg either on the ball of the foot or with the foot at a 45-degree angle. If that's possible for you, then we move on to the warrior poses from there. If this is too much of a stretch for you across the chair seat, you can just use the corner of the chair to achieve the same positioning of the leg, the front leg on the floor, and the back leg extended. So I'll show you warrior 1 and warrior 2. And so we establish, first of all, warrior 1. Our hands are on either side of the thigh. The leg is long behind, but softness in the knee. Our torso is elevated, our chest is open, and we lift, palms are facing one another, inhaling in warrior 1. And then exhaling, bringing our arms into a goal post position in open-hearted warrior. Inhale, warrior 1. And then we release from the pose, and we can move on to warrior 2. We simply change the foot position to the leg, so the foot is at a 90-degree angle. The hips and shoulders are in alignment with the legs. When we bring our arms into T position, they are also aligned as if we're pressed between two panes of glass. We look forward over the middle finger of the front hand. This is warrior 2. Shoulders are in alignment with one another. We inhale, and then on the exhale, moving into exalted warrior, lifting the palm and looking up, leaning back. Inhaling to warrior 2, and then exhaling as we sweep forward into extended side angle pose. Inhaling, returning to warrior 2, and releasing from the pose. So now we're facing our chair seat, and we're going to establish a tabletop pose. From there we'll move into plank pose and downward dog. So we face our chair seat, we fold forward, our palms are beneath our shoulders, our hips are over our knees, our feet are a comfortable distance apart, our back is in a neutral position, and our head is an extension of the spine. This is tabletop pose. From it, a number of other poses derive, such as plank pose, where we extend the legs back onto the ball of the feet, let our shoulders be over our palms, long back. This is plank pose. We inhale here. On the exhale, we sweep the hips back, elongate the arms, bring our head in between the long arms, stretch the back, and gaze to that space between our feet. This is downward dog. We inhale, drawing back to plank pose. Step back into tabletop pose. And then release our hands from the chair and roll up into standing mountain pose. Here is one of many balance poses that we can do in chair yoga, and this is probably the simplest one. It's called tree pose, and we're behind the chair. We have the back of the chair touching the front of our body. We open up the groin, lift the leg, place the heel on the seat of the chair, right where the back joins. We're tall through the body, lifted, and now we can inhale our arms up and into tree pose, allowing our balance to be challenged as we move our arms around and breathe. And exhaling down. So we do that on both sides, always keeping the body in balance, opening the groin and hip, tall through the body, lifting into tree pose. Various versions with the hand position in tree pose. Here is another balance pose we do in chair yoga. This is called Volcano pose. We have version 1 and version 2. In version 1, we keep one hand lightly on the back of the chair. We establish the balancing leg, and we've got softness in the knee. The other leg is extended behind with the toe touching, and we're tall and long in the torso. We lift our arm alongside our ear, steeple our index finger out, and then when we're ready, we inhale, and then exhale. We tilt forward and we balance in volcano pose, breathing, challenging our balance. Inhale, and then release from the pose. Version 2, we move over and have our hip touching the back of the chair. Again, establish the balancing leg, establish the leg behind with the toe touching. In this case, both arms come up. Steeple the fingers, index fingers are pointing out. We inhale here, and then exhale. We tilt forward in volcano pose, breathing, challenging our balance. And then inhale, gracefully release from the pose. So now that you've seen my informative videos, Chair Yoga Slow and Gentle Introduction and Chair Yoga Slow and Gentle Orientation, you are ready to undertake a chair yoga class. Please watch my YouTube channel, Chair Yoga Slow and Gentle, for a variety of chair yoga classes.